audio this time. It's the bane of my existence is these audio buttons and figuring this stuff out. I'm gonna make this stuff easy one day. But peace and good morning. I'm Sha, Dragon's Pitchfork, streaming on Instagram and on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. I think that's all of them. But I'm here for Read With Me, for Getting It Together. We are reading The Magic by the author of The Secret, Rhonda Byrne. And the reason I'm reading it is it's about developing a gratitude practice. I've seen the value of gratitude in my life recently, and I'm working on practicing using that to help me do better and better each day. It's if you know me, you know I've got a story where I'm on the back end, tail end, or coming out of that tunnel from severe dark depression. Had to come up out of it by myself. Couldn't, and when I say by myself, I mean without clinical help or without using meds. Not without support, because I had Yani, I had Zen, I had Grayskull, I had people with me that have helped me get through this. I had Gray Space, which is what we Grayskull offer to the community to provide support to those who may not be interested in professional help. When I say support, it's not like a support group. It's not something formal where we sit there and basically have a couch where you're talking and telling your problems, but people are welcome to if they'd like to. People are just it's a brotherhood. It's a place where you come to find community and a space just to come be yourself completely. And if you need to talk about something heavy, talk about it. And if not, sometimes we just play music and just shoot the breeze together. But finding that community where I could just sink in, be comfortable, be myself, and realize that I don't have to be anything but me in the world is made a huge difference for me. And that's something I want to be able to offer and give back to others, especially with all the different nuggets and stuff I picked up along the way. There are things like changing diet, reading things like this has been helpful. Spending time in nature. There's so many different things that have helped me get through that dark world, and gratitude is just one more thing I'm adding to that toolbox. So we're reading The Magic. We're on day 7 in the book. This is day 8 of my streams. The first couple days, we just read some of the introductory chapters. And I'll be honest, man. Yesterday, day 7, I didn't do the exercise, and I'm gonna have to go back and read. Well, day 6, sorry. I didn't do the day 6 exercise. I got so caught up in the things I was working on. I was actually working, and it was a perfect day to do the activities because I did a couple different pieces of work, but also my work doesn't feel like work. So sometimes I forget that that I'm working when I'm in the midst of it. Sometimes it feels like I'm just engaging with people and just doing what I love. I love building things. I love creating, and I get to do that in so many different ways in the work I do. So when I do that, I zone out. I just black out, and I don't realize I'm in the zone until the work is done. So got to do magic practice number 6. I probably got to go back. I think the book recommends that if you skip a day or you miss a day, go back 3 days. Yeah, it's probably time for that for me. So I'll go back, but I won't stop reading in case anybody else is getting a benefit from this, and in case anybody else is sticking with the program. I'm going to read this all the way through for you guys, and I'll just in the evenings and afternoons, I'll go through and do my thing. But day 7, let's get ready to go. Don't forget dragonspitchfork.com/tip-jar, or just go to dragonspitchfork.com and hit the tip jar button. There you can find a list of my services. You can find my list of my products, which is merch, an NFT. And if you're not in the market for something, just support, man. Support. There are ways to donate via crypto and ways to donate via regular fiat money. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, all of those are options. Support. We're doing good things for the community, and it requires support. All right, day 7, the magical way out of negativity. It sounds about right. Sounds like something I need for a conversation I'm about to have shortly here. A thankful person is thankful under all circumstances. Baha Yula. Baha Yula. I'm going to have to learn how to pronounce this name. It's the Persian founder of the Baha'i faith. Born 1817, passed away in 1892. Let's go. Whether it's a relationship in turmoil, financial pressure, a lack of health, or problems in a job, negative situations arise because of lack of gratitude over a long period of time. If we are not grateful for each thing in our lives, we are unintentionally taking those things for granted. Taking things for granted is a major cause of negativity because when we take things for granted, we are not giving thanks in return and we stop the magic happening in our life. Just as giving thanks to others will always lead to our life magically increasing, so must taking things for granted always lead to our life decreasing. Are you grateful for your health when it's good? Or do you only notice your health when your body gets sick or hurts? Are you grateful for your job every day, or do you only value your job when you hear there will be cutbacks? Are you grateful for your pay or salary every time you receive it, or do you take your pay or salary for granted? Are you grateful for your loved ones when everything is running smoothly, or do you only talk to others about your loved ones when there are problems? Are you grateful when your car is working well, or do you only think of it when your car breaks down? Are you grateful to be alive each day, or do you take your life for granted? Taking things for granted results in complaining, negative thoughts, and words. So when you complain, by the law of attraction, you must bring more things into your life to complain about. If you're complaining about the weather, the traffic, your boss, your spouse, your family, a friend, a stranger, waiting in lines, bills, the economy, the cost of something, or the service of a company, you are not being grateful and you're pushing your dream life further away with every complaint. Now you understand that complaining, negative thoughts and words, and taking things for granted stops the good things in your life. Now you understand that when something goes wrong, you have unintentionally not been grateful enough. It's impossible to be negative when you're grateful. It's impossible to criticize and blame when you're grateful. It's impossible to feel sad or have any negative feeling when you're grateful. And the best news is that if you have any negative situations in your life currently, it won't take a long period of time to transform them with gratitude. The negative situations will disappear in a puff of smoke just like magic. First, as difficult as it may be, you may have to look for things to be grateful for in the negative situation. No matter how bad things are, you can always find something to be grateful for, especially when you know that your gratitude will magically transform every negative circumstance. Walt Disney, who knew about the true magic of life, showed us how to do this in his movie Pollyanna. Let me take this moment. I was already thinking about taking a moment to pause, and I do this every time I stream. Remember, when we're reading books like this, our job is to treat it like a conversation with another human being. We're taking in somebody else's perspective, somebody else's point of view, and you can't do that fully if you're looking for ways to rebut or respond to what's being said. I mentioned that at this point because I know Walt Disney can be a trigger point for a lot of people. There are a lot of places in here where I've seen my pre-programming or my past traumas or my own points of view that I'm working on re-examining, being triggered. And I have to remind myself at every time that happens in this book, stop worrying about your response. Stop worrying about how you feel. Stop worrying about how you think, how you view things, and just focus on the message coming in. Doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but just take it in so that you can process it in full. Then after processing it in full, see what response you have then. Maybe your response is valid, but give it a chance. Disney's 1960 movie Pollyanna featured the Glad game, which had a profound effect on me when I was a child. I played the Glad game featured in the movie through my childhood and adolescence. To play the Glad game, you look for as many things as you can to be glad about, especially in a negative situation. Finding things to be glad about or finding things to be grateful for in a negative situation makes the solutions appear. Walt Disney demonstrated the magical power of gratitude in Pollyanna, and thousands of years earlier, Buddha demonstrated the way to use the same magical power when he said, "Let us rise up and be thankful, for if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. And if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we got sick, at least we didn't die. So let us all be thankful." Let Buddha's words be your inspiration. And today, take one problem or negative situation in your life that you most want to resolve and look for 10 things to be grateful for. I know it can be challenging to begin this practice, but Buddha is showing you the way to do it. Make a written list of 10 things on your computer or in your gratitude journal. As an example, your problem might be that you're out of work, and despite your best efforts, you're still unemployed. To magically turn the situation around, you have to do a concentrated practice of gratitude on the situation. Here are some examples of what you might say. And the author gives 10 examples. 1. I am so grateful to have had more time for my family during this period. 2. I'm grateful that my life is in a lot better order because of the spare time I've had. 3. I am grateful that I've had a job most of my life and that I am experienced. 4. I am truly grateful that this is the first time I've been unemployed. 5. I'm grateful that there are jobs out there and more new jobs are appearing each day. 6. I am grateful for all the things I've learned in applying for jobs and in going for interviews. 7. I am grateful that I have my health and that I can work. 8. I am grateful for my family's encouragement and support. 9. I'm grateful for the rest I've had because I needed it. And 10. I'm grateful that through losing my job, I've realized how much having a job means to me. I had never realized that until now. As a result of the unemployed person's gratitude, they will attract different circumstances, and their current situation must and will magically change. The power of gratitude is greater than any negative situation, and there are unlimited ways that the negative situation can change. All you have to do is practice gratitude and watch the magic take place. Let's take another example. A son whose relationship with his father is troubled. The son feels that no matter what he does, it never seems to be good enough for his father. 1. I am grateful that most of the relationships in my life are really good. 2. I'm grateful to my father for working hard so that I could have the education that he didn't get to have. That one rocks and resonates. Not about my father. I'm grateful to my father for supporting our family through my childhood because I didn't have a clue then how much hard work and money it took to keep our family going. 4. I'm grateful to my father for taking me to basketball every Saturday when I was a child. 5. I'm grateful that my father is not as tough on me these days as he used to be in the past. 6. I'm grateful that my father cares so much about me because he wouldn't be tough if he didn't care so much. 7. I'm grateful that through my relationship with my father, I have learned to have compassion and a greater understanding with my children. 8. I'm grateful to my father for showing me how important encouragement is in raising happy, confident children. 9. I'm really grateful when I get to laugh with my father. Some people never got to do that because they didn't have a father. And for others who have lost their father, they will never have the chance to laugh with their father again. 10. I am so truly grateful that I have my father because amid the tough times, there have been good times and there will be more good times ahead with my father. As a result of the son's heartfelt feelings of gratitude for his father, he will change their relationship for the better. The son changed the way he thinks and feels about his father, which immediately changes what he attracts from his father. Even though the son was being grateful in his mind, at an energetic and quantum level, the son's gratitude will have a magical effect on his relationship with his father. Provided he maintains his gratitude, by the law of attraction, the son must receive far better circumstances with his father, and the relationship must begin to improve immediately. Remember, you can tell your gratitude is working by the way you feel. You should feel a lot better about the situation after practicing gratitude. The first evidence of gratitude's magical power working is your feelings lifting. So when you do feel better about it, you know the situation will improve and the solutions will appear. The answer to any negative situation you want to resolve is to focus concentrated gratitude on it until you feel better inside. Then you will see the magic work its wonder in the outside world. In making your written list, Make sure you list each of the 10 things you're grateful for the following way. And it gives an example. I am so grateful for blank. Or I am truly grateful for blank. And finish the sentence with what you're grateful for. You can also use Walt Disney's way of using gratitude's magical power if you find it easier. I am so glad that blank. As the author's offering this or mentioning this, it's interesting because they're not mentioning the other parts that you get in the first exercise, in the day one exercise. In the day one exercise, the author says that, or has you practice saying, I'm so grateful for X because, and the because is supposed to be the key or the hinge, the important part, because that's what helps you like really feel the gratitude. And the author is saying that feeling that gratitude and really expressing it from the heart, from the soul, is what makes the magic happen. So interesting that they left out the because is on here. Maybe it's just because they're focused on the lesson. Pardon me. Once you've listed 10 things you're grateful for, finish the magical way out of negativity practice by writing, thank you, thank you, thank you for the perfect resolution. And just for today, see if you can get through one day without saying anything negative. It may be a challenge, but see if you can make it through one day. There's an important reason to do this because most of us have no idea how much we speak negatively. But you'll have an idea after watching your words for a day. Remember that negativity and complaint bring more of those things, and if you're aware of what you're saying, you can stop and decide if you want the consequences of what you're about to say. Here's a magic lifeline you can use if you notice yourself thinking or saying something negative. Stop immediately and say, but I have to say that I'm really grateful for blank. Finish the rest of the sentence with something, anything that you're grateful for. Take this magic lifeline with you and grab a hold of it whenever you need it. And if any little problem or situation appears in the future, remember to put out the embers with gratitude before it grows into a fire. At the same time, you will ignite the magic in your life. And then it goes into magic practice number 7. Before I read that, I find it interesting that this is the topic or the subject today. And this is another reason why I feel like some of this stuff that I'm doing right now, like I'm not a religious person, right? I don't even know if I'd call myself a spiritual person. I don't really get caught up in the words like that, right? But there's just something in my chest that's like, yo, something's going on. Something is happening. I don't know what. I don't know how to explain it, but there are a lot of things that are happening in a timely way that just indicate that, or make me feel like it's not just my action that's making things happen. We had a conversation yesterday on the mental maintenance space I host every Saturday on Twitter's co-host with my man Kyle, Drip Lord. And on there, part of the conversation was about gratitude. And at one point, he expressed something that I have the same problem with, is that sometimes has been hard to find gratitude when you're going through some things. I've found it increasingly easy through, the practices I started last year with gratitude and learning some of the value then just in writing it. But this book is doing a great job at helping me understand it better. And since that topic came up yesterday, and even JD was in there talking about how he's just, all he has is gratitude. He can't afford to allow the negativity into his life. He's a brain aneurysm survivor. He survived with his ability to see color still. He can still think for himself. He's not physically disabled. I think he said like 1 in 10 brain aneurysm people who suffer 1 in 10 people who suffer from brain aneurysms survive. So, I mean, he's already a miracle to begin with. So he doesn't even entertain the negative thoughts. When something challenging or negative is hitting him, he goes straight to gratitude. And that's amazing. His attitude is one of the most amazing I've ever met. I really, really love this dude. He's really just so positive, man. And I used to be extremely positive. I let my experiences and my viewpoints and probably my drinking and smoking probably played a role in it. In the the places and environments I submerged myself in played a role in it, I'm sure as well. Um, get me out of being positive and happy. And I think a lot of my positivity and happiness came from solitude as well back then. Like once I got started submerging myself and trying to learn how to socialize, it I got confused and lost and just crazy in a lot of ways. But all that to say that this gratitude lesson and this chapter right here seems very timely for the conversation we were having yesterday. So I'm going to make sure I send it over to Kyle to see if maybe this book might be something that helps him. And um, I really want to make sure that my homie's good. He's doing great, but I want to make sure he's doing even better. Maybe this will help out and help him figure out the same thing I'm trying to figure out, how to practice gratitude so that I can make it something that's just automatic, and so that the negativity, the worry, the concern, that doesn't even have room to enter and take place or rent space in my mind and in my life. So magical practice number 7, the magical way out of negativity. There are 6 steps for this one, and it's the end of the chapter. So number 1 is always the same, man. Count your blessings. This is from the day 1 exercise. Make a list of 10 blessings. Write why you're grateful. Reread your list. And at the end of each blessing, say thank you, thank you, thank you. And feel as grateful for that blessing as you can. The feeling being the key part. Like she really expresses that and emphasizes that in the first, in that day 1 chapter. 2, choose one problem or negative situation in your life that you most want to resolve. 3, list 10 things that you are grateful for about the negative situation. 4, at the end of your list, write thank you, thank you, thank you for the perfect resolution. 5, just for today, see if you can get through one day without saying anything negative. If you notice yourself thinking or saying something negative, use the magic lifeline. Stop immediately and say, but I have to say that I'm really grateful for, and then blank. 6, just before you go to sleep tonight, hold your magic rock in one hand and say the magic words, thank you for the best thing that happened during the day. All right, so, tomorrow we're on to day 8. It's called the magic ingredient. And like I said earlier on, I've got to go back and redo a few days worth of activities, I think. Because it says if you miss one day, go back 3 days. So I'll be going back. One of the things that I'm working on not complaining about is income. So I'm using the practice from, I think, chapter 5, which is to put a note on $1 and repeat the words, thank you for all the money I've been given throughout my life. And to think about all the money that you've received throughout your life, the money that was spent on your behalf, the money that you've earned, just really being grateful. So taking my moment now to do that while I'm here live and just really think about like the money that my parents spent, money that meant something emotionally. I remember when I was 13 years old, my father had a tradition of giving his kids $100 bill on their 13th birthday. So that always comes to mind for me when I think about money. And then just the money that put me in a position that allows me to do this today. I just have to practice the no negative thinking really, really hard right at this point and make sure I don't entertain the negative thoughts when it comes to money, because I have some negative thoughts too that pop up very easily when it comes to money. But the most important thing is being grateful for the money that I have received, because, yeah, there's more on the way and I got to make sure I handle it well. But money has afforded me the ability to do this and it's time to earn more so that I can keep this going. So dragonspitchfork.com, hit the tip jar button. Go ahead and book a consultation so you can receive some services, buy a product if you can, buy an NFT, buy some merch, or If you're not in the market for anything, support. Hit the tip jar. I accept Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, and various forms of crypto. I think there's at least 6 ways that you can donate crypto on there. So yeah, man. I hope you have a good Sunday. Hope you had a good weekend. Appreciate you taking the time to hang with me this morning. Again, we're reading The Magic by the author of The Secret, Rhonda Byrne, so that we can learn how to make gratitude a daily practice. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace. So I turn the mic off. Hopefully the outro music is playing to where I'm streaming.